Alright everybody, it's the game you've all been waiting for, the grand final of the Battle of America Season Number 2. It's Wheel Wreck While Whistling up against Complexity Gaming. I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Drag and Drop Dota for this best of 5 series. Complexity does start with a 1-game advantage, seeing as they never fell from the upper bracket. And of course, we're very, very pleased to have all you guys here. Of course, if you could, tweet the stream, Facebook the stream, put a post-it note on a pigeon and send it out. Hopefully it comes back if you have a pigeon like that, but yeah. Drag and Drop, how's it going, man?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn. Part of me is really sad because whatever happens, this is going to be the last day of the Battle of America in this Season 2 here. But on the other hand, I'm happy because as far as Grand Finals go, this is about one of the best matchups that you can get. Complexity Gaming, who showed a really tremendous skill throughout the entire tournament, and Wheel Wreck While Whistling as well. I mean, they actually only fell down to Complexity in the winner brackets finals, essentially.
Yep.
And yeah, they just took a detour into the lower bracket, beating the Void Boys, who managed to grab themselves still a respectable third place with that, taking home $500. And now they're back for with a vengeance, you could say, trying to take down Complexity. But it's gonna be a long road, as they do have that 1-game disadvantage from their perspective.
Yeah, it can be thought of as a disadvantage, but Wheel have actually been a surprisingly good team. For those that don't realize, they are the old No Earth Spirit boys, kind of reunited, reformed, and with a few different members, but definitely looked at as a very strong team, especially with Fan of Soyan and Sheep. Sheep playing the off lane, of course, Fan of Soyan playing that support role, and then Relic in the mid lane, when he's gotten his hands on Shadow Fiend, has been incredibly intense. But we're actually going to be seeing a bit of the Summit, the effect it's had on the drafting, and what heroes are valued. And actually, Wheel are going to go ahead and get rid of the Void, because we do know Complexity likes to team fight.
Yeah, Void definitely one of these heroes that Complexity do like to run a lot. But yeah, of course you're right. I mean, we see a lot of Elder Titan. He kind of has a resurgence here. Puck as well, you could say.
Yeah.
It's not heroes that you would have seen like 1 or 2 weeks ago. But Jakiro, of course, very strong in this current metagame, so no surprise that he's being first picked. Same for the Ogre, first banned in the first stage, so no surprises there.
Yeah, Ogre is getting to the point where he is a first ban for sure. But yeah, they have picked up the Omni Knight in the past, and he's a hero who can help sustain your team for a push, and also help you survive through a team fight. Of course, the BKB is nice, as well as the Guardian Angel, which is just going to mean no physical damage for the enemy team. And Complexity may want to build around physical damage, seeing as they've already picked up the Elder Titan, as well as the Puck, who doesn't provide physical damage, but can keep you in place for that Elder Titan Spirit to really do some work. Yeah, I do have open mic on, good.
Yeah, especially that Guardian Angel up against the Elder Titan, that's just a really great counter. I mean, not just to that, of course, against physical damage in general, but if you have an Elder Titan, as you said, you want to draft around that natural order, which basically erases base armor. So if you can just ignore physical damage for a while, then you don't really care about your armor value, and that gives you maybe enough time to bring the Elder Titan down. So Omni Knight is one of these heroes that can really mess with your initiations as well if he's in the right position, mess with your team fights, just turn it around so easily with a couple of well-timed spells. So we'll see how well Wheel can actually play him in this instance. And
Complexity Gaming going to respect ban out the Shadow Fiend even, as Wheel ban out, well, all the spirits that are available in Captain's mode right now, other than, of course, Spirit Breaker, Vengeful Spirit, who are kind of the lesser spirits, but Complexity actually going to go with the Nature's Prophets, so something I'm assuming we're going to see Limp take to the offlane, although could go anywhere. It's been really interesting seeing them with Dragon Fist on the team, and it's going to be very exciting. I'm assuming he's going to be playing Puck this game, to see him on the Puck, a very high skill cap hero. However, there is still a TA available in the pool, and if I'm not mistaken, Relic can play some TA.
I would think so too, yeah.
I would imagine, at least.
It'd be very strong up against the Puck in the lane, simply because Puck doesn't really have a way to remove the refraction. I mean, all they really have right now would be the Nature's Prophet Treants, and that's not really the most reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, would like a TA here for now. Would definitely do well in throughout the mid game as well with that good early start, but of course still kind of halfway through the draft, so Complexity would still have a chance to switch it up a little bit, maybe go a little bit greedy, put the Puck in the off lane, Nature's Prophet in the jungle, Elder Titan as a support and then pick up another mid laner.
It is something we've seen out of
there.
them. And I want to say it was in the game against Wheel where they picked it up. The very greedy lineup where they put basically a support player on the Natures in the jungle and got a lot of farm up on him. So it can be very effective. However, Wheel picking up even more team fight. They're going to grab the Tidehunter now, who, if for some reason they feel the need to repel him, can get a ton of work done in the fight. He can even get the silence purged off of him from Puck. And he's going to be a great setup for that Jakiro Ice Path in big team fights. However, my one concern is right now they don't really have a good setup stun for Jakiro in the laning stage. So they may be looking to go for that more push-oriented dual breath liquid fire build.
Yeah, I mean, the Ice Buff on Jakiro is the kind of build that was really popular back in the day when Jakiro was popular, like, a long time ago. But since he got back into the meta, since the buffs he received to liquid fire, it's really been all about that. Because it's a great harassing tool in lane, it's a great pushing tool as well, like up against towers. Just chipping away at them without too much risk, if you can just get close to the tower for a second or so. And of course a dual breath, I mean, it's a great slow for, what is it, 5 seconds, yeah. Move slow, attack slow, that's, in the early game that's much more effective than the Ice Pop even, which is only a 1 second stun at level 1, so. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that standard 1-1-3 build.
Yep. I'm just trying to find out. We're trying to do a winner's interview with one of the teams. I was just telling the managers, hey, if you could figure out which player would like to do that, that would be perfect. So that we don't have to spend 10 minutes, okay, who can we get for an interview? Drag someone over here. Do I have to?
Yeah, there's still plenty of time though. This is only game number 1. Of course, Complexity does have that winner bracket advantage, so they only need to win twice to get that juicy $3,500 that is on the line for them.
Yeah.
Loser of this match still has $1,000 guaranteed, so just getting here basically makes sure that you don't go out empty-handed.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been a pretty long tournament, but it's been quite a prestigious tournament. I mean, Wheel making it out ahead of Not Today, same with Complexity, although I believe that was slightly expected, although it could go either way. But actually knocking out Leviathan, knocking out Void Boys, it's E-Hug as well,
Yep.
Even though I believe Void Boys beat them, but still, it's quite a impressive lineup, and they'll actually pick up the Spectre here from Wheel. Another hero who is really good in a team fight, really good against Nature's Prophet, who often wants to split push and can kind of find himself alone if he's not, if he's already summoned his Triads and let them go off and push the lane. However, one problem I have with this is Shadow Demon can be very good against Spectre. The disruption to turn her around on herself, and just hit her with that Desolate damage if she wants to solo gank the Shadow Demon. It gives him kind of immunity to the Desolate damage, and then gives him 2 illusions, which will get pure Desolate damage, which is like 130 damage from both of those combined, and then whatever right-click damage he can apply.
Yeah. Apart from that, though, I'm not really sure about the Shadow Demon pick. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really see a defensive use for it, which is a big part of the disruption as well. Because if you just disrupt yourself defensively, that's always a good setup for the Ice Path from the Jakiro, for example.
They could use it to set up Elder Titan now.
Yeah, maybe.
Aggressively.
But, yeah.
I'm not seeing the hard stuns you'd like to see out from Complexity now. And I'd like to see them pick up a carry who can. They're actually going to ban out the Leshrac, which I believe Complexity picked up against them as well. He's very good with Shadow Demon, and he definitely has that stun potential. Also a lot of magic damage. And while Omni Knight can BKB one person, he definitely can't BKB everyone. So,
yeah,
Leshrac could be a very potent force. I want to say we saw Swindle on it last time.
I believe so too, yeah. And Leshrac Shadow Demon is one of these classic combinations that was very popular when I started following competitive Dota. It was always just a Shadow Demon first pick and Leshrac first pick or first ban. Ooh. Pretty much every single game. But they're gonna go for the Drow Ranger, okay, so no stun coming out from that either, so a little bit worried about that because, I mean, Tidehunter is a hero that wants to get him pretty damn close if he can with that Blink Dagger. Spectre as well can just taunt in on the Drow Ranger whenever. So you're not necessarily going to have the advantage of that extra agility from the ultimate. So, but then again, you do have a really great pushing force with that. I mean, Normally, if you look at Drow Ranger and her skill set, you wouldn't really imagine that she would be really exceptional at pushing, but just the sheer amount of damage that she can put out and the attack speed that she gets from that bonus agility from her ultimate just makes her bring down towers so damn fast if she's left alone to her own devices a little bit. And yeah, if Puck and Elder Titan and Shadow Demon can create enough space elsewhere on the map, then that's definitely something that Complexity can fall back to, especially with the Nature's Prophet also available to them.
Yeah, a lot of range damage coming out, and I mean, a lot of physical damage as well. This isn't a very high physical damage team, but the thing about Drow is that you've got a ranged hero, boom, it's a physical damage dealer. Maybe not an insane one like Drow is, but Shadow Demon can even right-click relatively hard with Drow Aura in play. And Wheel don't exactly have the heroes to get in close to Drow and take away her marksmanship yet. And they're looking for a mid here, I'm assuming, if they want to run Jakiro support. Storm Spirit might be okay, but still can get picked off easily. Actually, Storm Spirit's banned out. What am I talking about? Templar Assassin. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So that's a hero that can build a Blink Dagger as well. So, of course, as you said, once they don't really have any way to get on top of a Drow Ranger right away, but they kind of have to rely on either Sleazel to haunt in, or wait for Tidehunter or maybe Templar Assassin to get their Blink Daggers for that to really work. But once they have that, if they aren't shut down in the early game enough, so that Swindle can get far enough ahead, then he might have some problems sustaining up against the brutal force that comes out from Wheel, with the TA who can blow up in the mid game, with the Spectre who can just help out at any time, just pick someone off who's fleeing, and then Tidehunter as well, and Jakiro and Omni Knight too, with the enormous amount of teamfight potential. So Complexity do have to be careful.
The other thing is now all of a sudden the bans or the pickup of the Shadow Demon and these other defensive heroes really makes sense all of a sudden. It's like, oh, they're going to use it to
use it to save
Drow. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking for the right scene to go live here and kind of blanked for a second, but there we go. We are back. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Drag and Drop Dota. Complexity will start this series with a 1-point advantage in a best of 5, but we still could have 4 games for you guys this afternoon. I know the summit's going on. I know that's a big deal, but hey, we really appreciate you guys coming out. It's going to be a great series, and the cast should be great as well. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Drag and Drop. I think I just said that. Let's go ahead and introduce the teams. I'll start with Wheel over here. We've got Sleazel on the safe lane Spectral, your Mercurial Phantom, if you will. Derp will be on the Jakiro, already pulled off 2 of his tangos to the mid laner. Relic will be on the Templar Assassin. A very good matchup for him up against Puck, but we'll see how it plays out in the end. And in the bot lane, I'm a Sheep, who proclaims that he does sucks. Is going to be on the Tidehunter. Fan of Soyan will be on the Omni Knight, and he's actually pulled 2 tangos over to the Tidehunter. They're being very generous with the regen in the early game here. Anyways, Drag and Drop, if you'll take it away with Complexity.
Yep, we've got Moon Meander here on the support Shadow Demon, already grabbing himself a bounty rune, so a nice start for him. Swindle, the captain's gonna be on the Drow Ranger, looking to get some farm down here in the safe lane. In the mid, we've got Dragon Fist on the Puck, no surprise there. Looking for him to put on some dazzling plays on that hero. Z-Freak actually doing... yeah, it looks like he wants to stay in a jungle for now, so going a little bit greedy on the Nature's Prophet, which leaves the offlane all alone for Limp on the Elder Titan.
Yeah, I actually like putting Elder Titan in the offlane a little more than the support position, because he's guaranteed to find levels. You don't have to be worried about Nature's finding levels if he's able to jungle. Now sure, your lane is a little bit weaker here up against Tide, but Drow Ranger generally is known to win her lane, just due to the bonus damage she's going to be able to get from that aura. Now Limp does get slowed down by a dagger, actually used at level 1 here by Sleazel. Usually you want to try and wait till that's level 2, or you at least have a point in Desolate, but I think it was more of a kind of zone him off the lane for a second dagger here. Yeah. He won't have mana for another right now, and actually a TP coming in from Z-Freak, he's going to look for that courier.
He's going to find it too if he's patient enough. The bottle's on the way, so if you can snipe that, it's actually a big deal in this mid lane. Because TA can't spam out the reflection.
Oh, Omni? No, he doesn't see him. Wait, yes he does. He notices he's there, and they're going to micro the courier away. Captain Bamboo saved for now, but they will move in on Relic. And, I mean, again, Z-Freak's a support. He doesn't have to stay in the jungle at the moment. and he can actually hang out in lane and roam around a bit if he needs to, because he's not that level dependent at the moment. However, Orb going to come in on Relic. Nice phase shift there by Dragon Fist, dodging the Psyblade hit. And they will get that bottle out to TA right now.
That is so important that that Omni Knight caught that.
Yeah. I think, honestly, Z-Freak was a little down on the cliff, so the tower wouldn't have been able to see him, but Omni Knight could. So, I think he was trying to scout out if they moved the courier to the other side of the lane or not there.
Yep. Well, it's going to slow down the start a little bit, but then again, it's a jungle nature's prophet. It's not the fastest to begin with, but he's still going to be able to find his levels, and he can always do these kind of rotations anyway, with only a couple of levels that he has already. I mean, all he really needs is a teleport. Maybe level him Sprout, and then you can already do a whole lot.
Yeah. Z-Freak, though, getting good farm in the jungle. I mean, he's sitting on a Null Talisman. May look to go for that Null Blade Mail build, which wouldn't be bad here, considering they are going to be based primarily around physical damage. Having the little extra bits of attack speed that it'll give you from the agility stacks that are coming off those Null Talismans wouldn't be a bad thing, because Drow is going to help you scale your physical damage anyway, so...
Yep. Yeah, that's actually also a very nice thing that Complexity does have. That aura, I mean, you talked about it in the draft. That's a 4-range lineup. Only the Elder Titan, who isn't really known for being too much of a right-clicker, unless you just overcommit on him in lane and he has a spirit on a couple of creeps.
Yeah, unless
just
he's...
punches in the face with 120 damage or something like that.
Yeah, unless he's just refilled his staple gun, as I like to call it.
Exactly. But yeah, normally not the right-click hero, so
yeah,
it isn't a big deal. But Puck right-clicks quite a bit in between the spells, so and the Nature's Prophet as well. He can turn into that kind of a right-click core, and having that aura not only helps him jungle a little bit, but can also help him scale in terms of damage in the late game.
Yeah, and Drow already looking for that Ring of Aquila. So Swindle farming really well down here, already sitting 18-6. So has done a great job, I think, taking over Moon Meander's carry position. And they like to play aggressively, this team. I mean, they've kind of fallen off that Zeus strat since they dropped Bloody Nine from the squad, who was never officially on the squad, I was told, but he was practically a member of it. And actually, Sheep, gonna get jumped on here. He'll just TP away, as he already forced the TP out from the Nature's Prophet. So that's on cooldown for a little while. Their lanes can feel a little safer. And honestly, he didn't have much of a chance of winning that man fight. Even as a Tide, who's very tanky, with the Shadow Demon Soul Catcher in there, only level 1, it's a lot of bonus damage. And actually, Limp, he's gonna get a Spirit off, which will allow him to run away. Heals and harms coming out from your Omni Knight. And actually a BKB as well. Doesn't want Spectre to fear anything, just in case there was a rotation in.
Yeah, I mean, if you overcommitted, maybe you run into a Storm, which Elder Titan put an early point into. Which is something I like, by the way. So,
yeah,
more often than not, when Elder Titan was first popular, we saw players just go a 0-4-4 build.
Yeah, going for that.
Single point at the start, it's so much value just to have that potential of just scaring someone away, zoning someone out, even with a level 1 spell.
I do think most of the reason for that was because he was played mid, and you don't really need an Echo Stomp in mid, because if you're getting jumped on, you probably don't have very far to go to your tower, so you don't really need that stomp. They will still clean up First Blood on him. I think he thought he'd be able to turn around and stomp there, but Sleazel, with that pure damage coming out from the early Desolate, is going to do quite a bit. I mean, that's 50 bonus damage coming straight out onto Elder Titan. I mean, it's real cute, you've got 3 armor, but pure damage don't care.
Yep.
And that'll
That's a great ice buff by Dok. Just cutting him off right there.
I am glad that they were able to cancel the Nature's Prophet TP in time. Otherwise, Z-Freak would have had to commit up there and probably hang out for a bit, seeing as it is only level 1 teleportation, and it's on that 50-second cooldown. However, Elder Titan is going to be able to harass him out a bit with the Spirit. I like that he's not wasting any time getting the Spirit out while he's up here. And actually, as Spectre is forced back to the base, she did pick up her phase boots, but it's not too big up against him. But I really do like an Omni with Spectre. It seems a little silly because you have so much melee in a lane, and it seems like you'd instantly lose that lane, but they're going to do just fine because Spectre will have sustain in the lane in what is her weakest stage. Now, Puck does manage to pick off Tidehunter, but leaving TA in the free-farming mid. TA is only about a last hit ahead of the Puck, so not doing as well in this lane as he'd like, but again, he is up against one of the most formidable pub players there is at the moment in North America. So Dragon Fist has disappeared from the leaderboard. I saw, I believe it was Rio Singa from Latin American Casters mentioning that. But it's because he doesn't play solo matchmaking on that account anymore.
Bottom lane might see an engagement here. I mean, Sheepsocks does not have a Ravage. But
There is a
Swindle is a
TP
little
from
bit of
Relic.
trouble here, caught out. Offensive disruption here, you could say. Swindle taking a lot of damage. Sheepsocks should be able to pick him up with another Ice Path into an Anchor Smash.
Yep. And he will buy out before he goes down there, but they're trying to engage on Moon. Not going to be able to find him. Moon will already be back at the base in the arms of this fountain at this point. 1 for 2, or 1 for 1, though.
Yeah, at the very least, it does force a rotation from Temple Assassin, who's been doing a good job. I mean, Dragon Fist was actually leading in terms of last hits in the middle lane for quite a while, but
yeah.
Relic was able to catch up quite nicely, and so Dragon Fist getting a little bit of extra breathing space here is not really the worst thing. And they also took down the tier 1 earlier and did a little bit of damage to tier 2, so not the worst exchange for Complexity, I would say.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Relic has played TA quite a bit and that he's good at it. I just don't feel like it's not like his signature hero. Like, Dragon Fist is pretty well known for his puck. It may not be, like, his best hero. I think he's known for his TA above all, but his puck is also very good. And to be able to go even with a TA in lane, I know you can't kill her very easily, but you can... She can prevent you from farming with her high amounts of damage, and actually, they will find a D&D rune there. The Illusions of Tide trying to deny it.
Speaking of damage, right?
I mean, yeah. And this could be a potential area that TA could get it killed. The problem for Puck here is that TA can block everything he throws out. And he can't phase shift anything, and actually they will find another kill in the Drow Ranger. That's a 3rd kill for Wheel right now. Dragon Fist comes in with the coil. It's only going to connect on Sheep, who will once again just take the easy way out, or so he thinks. A disruption comes out from Moon. Nice phase shift from the Puck, but doesn't have enough mana for another nuke. He'll throw the orb, but there's not quite enough. Luckily, Z-Freak was there to clean things up. They at least pick off the Tidehunter for it, but they've lost their hard carry twice now. And this is not a great situation for a Drow. She is at least level 7, almost level 8 now. But you need to get those levels up on her, and you desperately need farm. She has to be online and be ahead, or she's just going to be very far behind. Nice.
Absolutely. I mean, dying once if you buy out, it's not the worst thing, but dying twice shortly after another, it really cuts into your farming time as well. I mean, he's back to it in the middle lane now, but yeah, Swindle has to be careful about being overextended like that a little bit. I mean, he was all alone up against a Ravage that was committed, so I guess you can't fault him too much.
I think he's jungling for a bit just to get his Wraith Band, because he looks to be going for the like Eternal Envy, like Aquila, 2 Wraiths, and a Yasha push build, which usually you're going to see with a Visage, but I mean here it's just as good. You've got a lot of range damage coming from Dragon Fist and Nature's Prophet, and then the Shadow Demon Illusions. If they disrupt Jakiro, or I believe TA will technically count as a ranged hero once she's leveled Psyblades at all.
I think TA is a range hero in general, just with a very short range to begin with.
No, I know she's considered melee at the start, because she's actually, or she was at one point classified as melee in like the hero picker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they get an illusion of her, she's going to hit even harder. And I want to say, since that's bonus damage, it'll just be added straight onto the illusion, not percentage scaled. You know?
Yeah. I actually don't know what the interaction there is exactly, so...
Well, hopefully we'll get the chance to find out, yeah.
So yeah, anyway, that puck is doing very well, so... But Dragon Fist doesn't really have his Blink Dagger just yet, but he's well on his way to its signature 1900 gold.
Nowadays, though, we're seeing pucks get their Blink at like 15 minutes. That little cost increase... I mean, and I'm talking Brown Boots 15 minutes. Now, Puck has been being played in the off lane a bit more. But I think Dragon Fist is doing just fine here. He's going to have his Blink by 12 minutes, I think. And he's got 2 kills to go along with it. Hasn't died to the TA mid. For such a rough matchup, this is a great timing, especially after treads.
Yep. So it looks like they want to get this tower here. Swindle and Limp also rotating in. So it's 4 heroes up against 3 for Wheel in this middle lane.
And they also give Moon time to get some solo XP on the bot lane. I'm interested that he actually maxed Shadow Poison first, but I believe it, and I could be wrong about this again, I think that it does enough damage to cut through TA's refraction. You know what I mean? When it's applied.
Well, it does one instance of damage when it hits, and then another when you trigger it. So,
okay,
like if you stacked it up 5 times, you would do a total of 6 instances of damage.
Yeah.
If you then triggered it. So.
Once you applied the 5th stack. And actually, Swindle gonna get Ice Path here. Ult him from Sleazel. He'll be able to get pushed back, but that's practically an escape from him. Meanwhile, a Ravage coming out on the back end of the fight. Derp on a killing spree. Dragon Fist, rather, manages to pick up the Spectre. Looks like Omni's ult was not there quite in time. A haste rune for Puck, and he's looking for more, but he's gonna get body blocked. The Fairy Dragon up against the 2-headed dragon. Meanwhile, TA cutting through Limp like a knife. Puck will find another kill on the Omni Knight here, and this could be a very fast Dagon or Yules for the Puck. And at this point, with Spectre still being relatively squishy, I wouldn't frown on a Dagon pickup right now. I think Spectre's going for the more aggressive build and not looking to tank up too early on here. And a Dagon could help you find those solo pickoffs. However, of course, the Yules, it's going to be a nice defensive item. You can potentially stop a Blinking Tidehunter in his tracks. So, either are good options.
I would really expect the Yules here, also simply because of the mana regen, which is,
of course,
such a great thing to have on a hero like Puck who's really mana dependent.
Yeah.
So Yules Scepter just does so much more for you, and it's also much more less expensive.
Yeah.
For what it does, you know. I mean, with Dagon you can only do one thing, and it costs like a lot of, even more gold than Yules on level 1. But the Yules you can use for offensive purposes, for defensive purposes, to stop TPs, to just get out or juke some Ravages or anything of the sort. So it's very flexible, and of course the passive mana regen and movement speed bonus is also very useful. So it's almost too good of an item to still be in the game in this shape, I would say.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to get a slight nerf next patch. I'm not sure what that'll be, because I feel like tinkering with the duration might be too much, but Relic actually going to get silenced up here. A Stomp going to come through, but won't manage to interrupt him, as he does manage to TP away there. Nice escape from him. He's building into a Yasha already, and we've seen multiple things like this come out on TA. It's probably Manta, but it could even be a Sanjin Yasha if you want to, and Dragon Fist going to pick himself up a DD rune, now sitting on 1500. And they're making so much space for Drow, who now has a Mask of Madness up and 600 in the bank. I mean, she's sitting 3rd in net worth, but Drow is one of those carries who just scales with good levels. She doesn't need that much farm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she obviously does a lot with farm, but yeah.
And this game, it seems like you need some sort of farm to just stay alive, because more often than not, we see Wheel just committing right on top of them under tier 1s, under whatever, with the long-range initiation that you have from the Ice Path, as well as the Blink Ravage from Tidehunter, or just a Blink Slow with the Gush. Anything of the sort can just shut down the draw range. Of course, it's a little bit harder to lock her down with slows now that she has the Mask of Madness. But yeah, if you do catch her, she's really, really squishy. Gonna lock onto Sleazel now here in the bottom lane, though.
Yeah.
Just be able to bring him down.
Sweet. Sleazel looking for an opening here. There's no vision from Drow, though, to get out. And actually, Sleazel, he'll be able to heal up. Yeah. Oh, he's down here. Okay. I'd lost him for a second there.
Just hacking the map right now.
Yeah.
Spectral Dagger. Oh, man.
It was changed a little more recently, though, that you can't actually get outside of the map with Spectre's Q. And actually, there's a nice ulti in from Spectre up top. We'll manage to get 2 with the help of Tide's Ravage there. Shadow Demon does take down Jakiro in the meantime, but I think they're definitely feeling good about that trade. The only upside for Complexity is they do have 2 buybacks available, showing they're not losing that much gold. Their supports still have a lot. And at this point, I would still consider Elder Titan a little more of a support than Nature's Prophet is, simply because he doesn't need as much farm to do what he does. Farm is nice, but it's really a luxury on him.
Yep. Looks like they might get this tier 2 tower here in bot, but
yeah,
real?
Z-Freak committing.
Just, yeah.
They'll get the deny with Omni.
Still denied. Z-Freak's gonna die too, so oh wow. That is not good for them. Absolutely not.
And it's real cute that they're getting towers, but in the meantime, they're losing in terms of XP. Like, we can look at the net worth complexities in the lead. In XP, they're down by about 500. Now, they did manage to pick off the Spectre up top, which is a huge pickoff for them. Spectre's sitting on 2109 right now. I think we're going to be seeing a Radiance come up on her.
Yeah, that would be a good assumption here, considering that he's saving up that much gold. Don't think he'll finish the magic wand now with that kind of money. But yeah, Complexity is looking to make it really hard for the Spectre to be relevant in the late game just by ensuring that there is no late game. They really put on a lot of pressure on the map with Z-Freaks just tanking up while Swindle is just hitting the tower. And yeah, they've been here for a whole total of 10 to 15 seconds and the tower already down to 300 health points despite the ice pass here. They know that the Ravage is down so they know they can be pretty safe doing what they're doing here.
Yeah, but here comes Sheep. He's trying to make them think he has a Ravage. There'll actually be a nice silence out on 3 by Swindle. Or Elder Titan Spirit looking for a stomp. Is he going to use it? He'll just get that armor reduction on Relic, who will be healed up. But he's hiding right here. Ulti out from Spectre to hit quite a few of them. But already 2 are down. And Jakiro and Shatter Demon now sitting on the bench. But Drow did go down there. Sheep picking him off as well. Z-Freak looking for an escape. We'll be able to get out with a TP scroll right here. Puck trying to orb away. He'll get out to the trees. Limp, last one standing here. He's going to try to TP away. Should have the time to do it too. And actually the Elder Titan Spirit going to make his long haul all the way across the map.
Yep. There'll be the Yules done for the Puck as well. So Drow Ranger dies again, which is sad to say the least. But they almost brought down the towers. In fact, it's in deny range, so wouldn't be surprised to see Wheel go ahead do that.
I would wait till they're actually mounting a push on it, because you want them to actually commit the time to say, hey, we're going to push this tower, and not just go off and farm the map and say, well, they'll deny it soon. That is kind of a big mistake you can make, and the Yasha is up for Relic. I believe he's either going BKB or Manta now. I'd say BKB is somewhat necessary here with the amount of magic damage Complexity have. The problem is you need just raw HP as well, because Drow is going to hit pretty hard.
Yeah, but
physical damage.
Right now they are really doing a good job just neutralizing the Drow just by blinking right on top of her. I mean, you saw Sheep Sucks even without the Ravage doing just that. Just blink on top of the Drow, throw it an Ankle Smash to further mitigate her damage. And
there's a blink up on TA.
What's Swindle gonna do at that point? Even with a defensive disruption and the blink dagger, of course, on her as well. If Relic can do the same thing, I mean, he can fight on close range, even though he's kind of range hero right now. Drow really can't effectively.
Yeah, they will be dewarding some of these sentries out here. They know Drow was going for Roche with this TA trap in the pit. But with a Mask of Madness and a Yasha, Drow can do it incredibly quickly. She already hits for 220 damage, and then has incredible attack speed to go along with it. She's at what I would consider late game attack speed when she turns on her Mask of Madness with 0.44 seconds per attack. She can pretty much go for a Daedalus or a Monkey King bar if she wants to at this point. Of course, you can still go for more agility because it will continue to benefit your allies and continue to stack up your damage anyway.
Yep. Wouldn't hate the Butterfly, but...
Honestly, at this point, though, I wouldn't hate a Sanjin Yasha either. If they want to blink in your face, having that extra bit of health would help a lot. Although a BKB will do just as well, so...
I would rather say BKB. I mean, as you said, he does have plenty of damage to go around. He just needs to stay alive. And he needs to... I mean, his Gush can do... Oh, it's called Gush? Yeah, Gust, actually.
Gust, yeah.
That can do plenty of a good job to just keep the enemies away from him. So he doesn't need a Force Staff or something like that. That would be something that Shadow Demon, for example, could pick up as the next item. Maybe even the Elder Titan, just so you have that extra bit of mobility that you can give to the Drow Ranger to make sure that Swindle stays well away from Wheel's heroes.
Yeah.
And we see that Elder Titan Spirit scouting out. Sheepsuck's taking the Ancients here. What is he going for? He did build himself that 4-staff, so going for that mobility build. Which is really useful, of course.
He'll actually just blink right on top of Swindle. He's got a Ravage if he wants it. He'll get it purged off of him. There's the Ravage. It'll hit Swindle on the edge, and Tide getting the kill. Spectre also come in. Moon, he's in no man's land right now, and he'll get picked off pretty easily. A double kill for Sheep. I mean, Sleazel isn't getting all these kills, but if I'm not mistaken... Yep, we're sitting on a Relic for Sleazel now. So... he's making great time. Should have his Radiance up by about 25 minutes. It's not the greatest timing in the world, but it's definitely doable. at this point, seeing as he did go for some other utility items in the early game, and they want to take this late game. In the super late game, the only thing Complexity really has is the Elder Titan, and despite the negative armor our Elder Titan's going to carry, Spectre can still cut him down like butter.
Yep.
It's kind of one of those double-edged swords against a hero like Spectre. Yes, you're going to take away all her agility armor, but you're not going to take away her agility in terms of damage, meaning she's still going to hit hard. They wanted to go after this Roche, but with a buyback coming out from Swindle, Complexity should be able to seal this. However, they can only really go for this because they know Ravage is down. They pick off the Elder Titan, but I think they're perfectly fine with this. Ulti comes out from Shadow Demon. Sheep comes in here, gets silenced, doesn't get caught in the Guardian Angel. Swindle on the edge of the fight with that Aegis, but Sleazel closing the distance very quickly. Moonmeander will be forced to self-disrupt, and actually Relic will take down Drow, who's going to be alone when this fight comes up, or at least separated from the team. Gets caught in an Ice Path. Dragon Fist and Z-Freak walking right into it. A coil comes out on him too. Drow manages to get the Aegis, but again, does basically die back, and actually a bit of a missed silence there from the Puck. He'll manage to blink away. They're not going to make it out of this one without any casualties for sure, though, as Moonmeander manages to get taken down by the Templar Assassin, excuse me. And actually an Orchid up on Z-Freak as well. That's going to help a lot against TA, who is very squishy behind her reactive refraction and the defensive properties it gives you.
Not so sure that it really matters, because, I mean, if you look at Templar Assassin, after that fight, Relic was still sitting pretty damn close to full health.
Oh yeah, at this point in the game, he's doing fine.
Yeah, that's really owed to the refraction, but also the Omni Knights. I mean,
Sure.
Fan of Soyon had a really well-timed Guardian Angel there, right at the time where, around the only time where Draw Ranger really could start hitting someone. So you negate that, and then you have plenty of time for Jakiro to throw out a couple of Ice Blasts and all of his damage over time for the entire fight as well. And yeah, Swindle just got isolated and brought down twice, and it was actually a dieback as well, because the entire sequence started with him just running over here to the Ancients, trying to pick off Tidehunter all alone, and then getting turned around on, which was the first really weird decision from Complexity. Then the second was going for this Roche, knowing that they don't really have a good escape for a Draw Ranger after the fact, even without Ravage at this point.
And at this point, they can't take a Roche themselves, so knowing they can kill Drow immediately after, and that Roche is down and the enemies are not doing it, so if they're off the map, they're basically in their jungle or smoke ganking you, it's actually quite a good bit of intel for them just to go ahead and say, okay, take your Aegis, that's cute, goodbye your Aegis.
Yep. Yeah, they also had the better angle. I mean, Dragon Fist was up here on the high ground, just being chased away by a dagger.
And they were able to isolate Drow right over here in the river.
Exactly.
Which is a really big deal. If you can isolate Drow Ranger, not only do you have a Spectre who's going to do more damage to isolated targets, but Drow really wants to hide behind her teammates. And Sleazel, he's going to get silenced up here. Ice Path will come out to secure his escape. And yeah, he's going to get out of there. And there's your Ravage from Tide. It actually catches 3 here as Omni Knight comes in, but they don't have very much damage. Instead, Spectre's ulti will come back in, and this is the first ulti with the Radiance up. Fan of Soyan does get a double kill. Relic managing to finish off, or the Elder Titan actually does fall to Spectre, so that's really good for Sleazel, who has not gotten that many kills for himself, but he is 4, 2, and 12, participating in 16 of 19 kills. That's really good for him. Not to mention, there's now a Deso up on TA. This is really great for them because they do have quite a bit of physical damage. I mean, you look at Tidehunter, he hits relatively hard. Anchor Smash does a lot of damage. And then you've got heroes like Spectre that right now is focused on pure magical damage from Desolate and Radiance, but as the game goes on, it's going to be focused more and more on actual physical damage, which is going to be quite a big deal.
Yeah, right now with the Desolator, I mean, they all really need Relic to do the physical damage at this point. Because Wheel has gotten so much momentum from these two fights in a row, the one at the Roche Pit and the one just now. Oh, they might find Relic here. Ice Path just to zone him out, so...
That was a nicely placed Ice Path, because he knows Swindle wants to chase. A nice Force Staff away on Relic as well. I believe that was what that was.
Yeah. Force Staff away.
And then the team split off.
Force Staff and the Ice Path.
Yeah.
Kept Draw Range away, so she couldn't get that slow. Yeah, I couldn't get that slow onto Relic. And then it was able to also blink across the Sprout from the Nature's Prophet, so... It
is going to be Sanj and Yasha for Swindle as well. And Puck is about 800 from his Aghanims, which is going to be really great for him against a team that wants to rely on Omni's BKB in order to escape from the fight. I think this was kind of the buff that Puck Ags needed to make it a viable pickup. Having a potential 4.5-second stun that goes through BKB is absolutely huge, especially in a metagame where your supports are probably building from some 4-stabs anyway. So you really just need to, like, coil them down, wait a few seconds for the coil to run out, which is actually 8 seconds now, and then say, oh, I'll 4-stab you forward, you break the coil whether you want to or not. And then you're stunned for 4 more seconds. That's 12.5 seconds of lockdown, one way or another. I mean, sure, coil itself is not that much of a lockdown, but it's enough to be noticeable.
Yeah, but even with all of these buffs, it still presumes that you don't die in that time yourself, or just have to run away, right?
It's relying on, it's making Puck much more of an initiator than, like, going Dagon Yule's damage dealer Puck. Yeah. Which I think is kind of the way he's meant to be played anyway. Although the Dagon build does work, especially when you're against a pretty squishy team, I actually like it against heroes like TA, which I didn't mention this one earlier, but if you know her refraction's down, you Dagon her, that's a huge chunk of her health. Especially if she hasn't built BKB. She's very vulnerable to that. And Omni Knight, he can only BKB so many people. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen anything on Compexity in terms of a Diffusal, but I'm not so sure we're going to. We actually see a Midas picked up on Elder Titan now.
Yeah. Don't really think they can afford a Diffusal in one. Yeah. Even just in terms of, not necessarily in terms of gold, but in terms of the trade-off that you have when you buy Diffusal instead of any other items, like mobility item, like a 4-star. I mean, Limp did get himself that once, as I mentioned, and looks like Shadow Demon's also going for that, so... that's going to be the key for them. They need that axe on the puck. That's going to help tremendously. Just
Z-Freak's going to come in. He'll silence Sleazel. The TP does come out, and it's going to be enough damage. With Omni Knight in the back end, that heal probably was just enough to heal her up. But actually, it's going to be Z-Freak going for that Diffusal. Okay. I mean, that's good, but a nice Ravage out on 3. Moomiander is going to melt here. Puck trying to get away. He's actually surviving on barely any HP. They already lost Moon and the Drow Ranger. Nice Earth Splitter out there that manages to clean up Jakiro. Dragon Fist on the run. He's been hit with an Urn Charge, though, and was actually able to get healed up somehow in there. I'm assuming with... yeah, he had a Regen Rune. Okay. Sleazel just had to throw out the Urn Charge to disable that, but at that point he's already at half health. However, it's not a good fight for Compexity right there, and we'll...
Look at this tower melt with Relic having double damage rune and the Desolator. It went from full to this in the matter of seconds.
And there's still a Siege Creep on it. He's not going to get the deny off. That Siege Creep hits too hard. Volvo, please. Fix Siege Creep. Here, so. Yeah, at least he gets 78 gold for his troubles. But
you're gonna take what you can get at this point. It's
a really big swing for Wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been taking fight after fight after fight, and now they're ahead in terms of net worth. They're really far ahead in terms of XP. That Temple Assassin is sitting at 15,000 net worth, above and beyond that. Even ahead of the Spectre by a good margin here, and that's exactly where you want to be as a Temple Assassin at this point in the game. If you can keep that kind of a lead, then you can just keep being in that position. You can blow with Swindle Melons right now.
Yeah.
I assume, if you really want to... No, okay.
Well, of course you want to blow up Swindle Melons, but I don't think he's just going to blink straight in on Swindle, not knowing how many of his allies are nearby. Because most of them are off the map. I mean, you see Puck up top of this Observer and Elder Titan near him, but you don't want to know where the other supports are, and that could be a very dangerous situation for you. They will have map control, though, with that gym. It's pretty costly for them to lose it, but on a hero like TA that needs to end the game relatively early, because late game, I mean, yeah, Refraction's great and all, but every few minutes another creep gets added, and eventually those creeps are just going to take your Refraction away. Because it will happen.
Well, he's going to replace that kind of survivability with the survivability of an Aegis, maybe. He drops a gem, so I would assume he's going to pick that up.
Yeah.
Spectre doesn't really need it. I mean, Sleazel's not going to be in the fights. He's going to be somewhere else, but pushing a lane, then haunting in whenever necessary, and yeah. He picked up his Manta style, so having more of that capability.
Yeah, Manta...
With the Aegis.
Again, if they can isolate one of these heroes, that's instantly going to triple the Desolate damage. From 65 to 195, I believe. And that isn't reduced at all on illusions. That's the big power of Spectre, is that you've got illusions that hit very hard because of that Desolate. If you can get enemies in a good position, they'll actually try to save the Jakiro here. Phase shift away from Puck. Dragon Fist will come back in here, actually getting burned by the Radiance, but Spectre is not in the fight yet. Actually, is just sitting in the jungle hanging out for a second. So, not looking to fight right now. They lose the Jakiro, but Tide now has his Refresher. This is when they're looking to fight. I think they're going to wait for Jakiro to get up. And before then, I'd like to see another item come up on Swindle if he can possibly get it. The question is, what is he building into? Is it going to make a big difference in this fight? And will it be here in time?
So I kind of want to see a BKB, but because the fact still stands, if they blink on him, then he's pretty much dead in the team fight.
I would really like to see BKB, Blink, or Shadowblade. And if you have to buy Shadowblade, or even Shadowblade makes sense here to me, because you're just... I'm out of this fight. I know there's a gem on the deck, and actually Limp will be going down here to TA, but there's a coil on Relic. Just gonna hang out for a second here. Gonna try to jump Dragon Fist, but he'll disjoint the hits. Nice try with the trap there, but wasn't quite enough. But yeah, I don't think a Shadowblade's the most optimal, but it can work, as you were saying.
Yeah, that was the first time that we saw the Axe Coil in action, and if you don't actually get the snap, then it's really underwhelming, right, as you saw. I mean, Relic didn't particularly care because it was only the Puck there. He had no way of really forcing Relic to snap the coil. So,
and if you don't have allies around, phase shifting for 3 seconds while your opponent is coiled is honestly a pretty big mistake, because you're not threatening them in any way. It's like, oh, you're not here, so why does it matter if I sit right here in this coil? It's not like there's like an ice path or something about to hit me. They'll blow up Moomeander, who will drop the gem on the ground. I believe Tide just picked it up, or... Okay, Omni has it. Volvo, please, give gem transfer item indicator, etc.
Actually, Jakiro's gem that they got back with that, so yeah. Pretty good.
But they desperately need it. I mean, you look at Complexity's lineup, none of their heroes are relying on Invis, and while I wouldn't say Relic's relying on it, it is at least a bit of an escape mechanism for him in a fight with Meld, as he can just kind of disappear for a moment. They know where he is, but they really don't have that much AoE outside of the Puck and the Elder Titan to do much about it.
Oh, Dub might die here.
They'll actually blink in with Swindle going down almost instantly. He has another buyback. Nice dodge of the Ravage there with the Yules, and actually a few spells wasted there. Dragon Fist will come back. He'll throw in an Orb out. He'll actually disjoint some hits here. He's going to phase shift so that he's able to blink away, and may not even need to. But Relic already taking down the Nature's Prophet. Wheel looking really good here. I know people were saying, oh, easy for Complexity. I'm not so sure right now. Relic is actually going to be going down to Moomeander here. He does get silenced up by Puck. His Aegis will be popped right now, but at least he does have it to fall back on. But Drow managing to die back in that fight. That is a big leg up for Wheel. I mean, Spectre already having this Radiance. She's overtaking you in terms of net worth. And yes, while Drow doesn't need items, she does need to be alive. That is 100% sure. Nice animation cancels there by Sheep. Just getting that off in time. Nice blink away there from Puck as well, though. The mid tower will go down, but it looks like that may be all they lose. 50 seconds on the Drow, 20 on the Nature's Prophet. And Wheel not exactly feeling comfortable now that pretty much everything except for Macropyre and TA Trap is on cooldown. So, Dragon Fist just going in with kind of some rat damage, if you will. He kind of just sneaks up to the hero, does some damage, gets away. But I mean, it's the nature of Puck in the end.
Yeah, he can't really stay in the fight, because if he does, then Relic's just gonna maul him to death, really, man. They will catch Dub up here thanks to the nice stomp.
Yeah, and Relic very low.
Relic, wow!
He doesn't.
You don't have no health.
You don't have your Aegis anymore either. He'll get Yules up into the air, and I think they're just trying to remove the damage from the fight. Meanwhile, they're mainly staying alive, except for what I would consider to be the two supports at this point. Puck managing to dodge the Meld Strike, and actually phase shifting out here. He'll get a blink away back into the base, but Templar able to find Nature's Prophet, albeit on pretty low health. Omni was able to heal her up in this fight, it looks like. Honestly, if I were Wheel in this situation, I think you need to disengage. You need to go home. You need to just get some regen up and say, now we can fight. Omni's out of mana at this point. You had a good fight.
It took them a damn long time to have to go back. I mean,
yeah, it definitely did.
They're really playing it super well. I mean, I'm really impressed by Relic. I mean,
oh yeah.
Not everyone has the balls to go back into a fight with like 20 health points to play with, but he did. He used the melt to his advantage, knowing that there's probably not any detection in place, so you can kind of rely on that, rely on the Yules.
Yeah, and he's right about that too.
Yeah.
There's no detection on the side of Complexity, and that is really dooming them in these fights, because if Relic wants to live, he just presses W and he's like, see ya. I mean, you can stand around him with Elder Titan and Puck and just do damage, basically very slow damage to him, but he can still just pop up every once in a while.
If you're doing that, you're opening yourself up to the kind of burst damage that he can put out.
Exactly.
I mean, he's been early in the fight when Swindle died first to the blink in and the Ravages, then Swindle brought back, and Relic, after just 3-shotting Z-Freak, was blinking after Swindle and brought him down with a couple of right clicks as well. So he's really squishy, and it doesn't really take a lot of attacks and a lot of time for Relic to bring him down. And
Tide's even building the poor man's cuirass, because you don't... Oh my goodness, I didn't even...
3 seconds. That's exactly what I was talking about.
What in the world?
Relic jumped in, Swindle immediately gusted him and immediately teleported out, but it was not enough. Meld Strike was already out.
And once you get that Meld Strike off, everything is downhill from there for you as a TA. You've got so much armor reduction when you stack a Deso on top of that, that your physical damage literally melts heroes. She didn't even go for the Manta, because you actually are going to give Elder Titan a lot out of a Manta here. And Templar Assassin takes down a tower while they go for a fight up top. Sleazel on a monster kill streak, and they're going to call it. They know Swindle's down for the count. Good game comes out, and I mean, this is what happens when you let a lineup get out of control. But I'm going to go ahead and give my MVP award for this match to Fan of Soya and Goody on the Omni Knight. They would have been able to sustain in these fights if it weren't for him and the trust that his own team puts in him. It's not really that, oh, Relic has the balls. No, he just trusts the Omni Knight to say, hey, I know you got my back. I can stay here at low health. It's not like all the team is like, oh, heal me, no, heal me. No, I need the BKB. Like, they prioritize who really needs the BKB here. Yeah. And a lot of the time, it wasn't your super hard carry. It was the TA, which enabled her to never actually die.
Yeah, they didn't particularly need the Spectre. I mean, Sleazel is sitting at 11-2, so he's been doing a lot of work in the fight, and so is Relic, but I would agree with you. I mean, Fan of Soyon really enabled them to do that with that great Omni Knight play.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we will be right back with game number 2. I see the summit still has not started right back up, so hey, we appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to spread word that the game's going on, because it is a very good game, and we're definitely guaranteed 2 more games here. And it could be even 3 more games for a full best of 5 one-game advantage series. So, yeah, stick around. I'm Esper Evolution 5, joined by Dragon Drop Dota, and this is the Battle of America Grand Final. So we will be right back.